Welcome back. On today's show, The Changing Face of Women, we've been discussing how women are portrayed in the media. And joining us in the studio is singer-songwriter Linda Muriel. Welcome, Linda. Glad to have you on the show.
Welcome.
So, Linda, you were successful in bands like Galliano, Plan B, Incognito, Courtney Pine, the Brand New Heavies, and James Taylor Quarter from the 80s to the 90s. Now, how differently do you feel the media has portrayed you over the decades?
Well, a lot of the time in my career, I didn't have creative control. Mm-hmm. So I quite like wearing unusual things. They'd say, no, look a bit sexier. Mm-hmm. And I used to, wear shorter dresses. I was a lot slimmer then, but not too short, because I felt I was doing music because I enjoyed writing and the creativity part of it. Mm-hmm. But it's an industry and it's business, and I was going to say sex sells. Yeah. Not for me, but that's the industry.
I'd like to ask you something, because, did you feel like the pressure, like that is, because that's not what you're wearing now, and I know you said that, you're slimmer than what have you, but did you feel that because you were in the industry, and if you really wanted to be successful, then, let's bring the hemline up, let's show a little bit more of the cleavage, so maybe it wasn't particularly your values or what you thought, but you felt like, I had to become that sort of person. Was that the case?
Well, what I felt was the industry was quite competitive, and a lot of the girls were thin. Mm-hmm. I was slim, I wasn't thin. Mm-hmm. I didn't particularly have anything really large on top. Mm-hmm. So I wore what I felt suited me. I used to have straight hair back then. My hair was relaxed, and I felt I would have been more accepted with my straighter hair than natural, a natural hairstyle, but now it's natural.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, our show is all about awareness and getting women to understand. So we would like you to help us kind of like understand what happens behind the scenes. So what is the sort of control or demand that's made on you as an artist? What are things that you get demanded, that you get demanded from you as an artist in order for you to be able to fit in, so that girls kind of who think that that comes as naturally will understand that it's not actually natural, it's very manipulated.
A lot of the time in the industry you can't be ill, and even if you are ill, I wanted to mention a particular singer I met back in 2010, Amy Winehouse, and when I saw her, she was very sick, but yet people still expected her to sing and look good and perform. And I personally felt that she looked or was too ill to be out there, and whoever was looking after her, I felt should have been a bit more responsible for her. Obviously, it's very tragic what happened to her, and a lot of singers have breakdowns, and for instance Donna Summers, do you remember Donna Summers?
Yeah. I remember her.
She had a very sexy image, and she actually came from the church, and she had a nervous breakdown. For a lot of the time we didn't see her. She had a big nervous breakdown where the demand to be sexy, do you remember I Feel Love, and what was the other song?
I forgot the fire. I forgot what it was. Yeah, but I know the one you're talking about.
But the image always, bad girls, all that sexy thing was never ever her. And then she went back to gospel, and then she came out again, and she's tragically passed away from breast cancer. But I think she was an amazing singer. But when you look at television now, it's not about the singing. It's about the way you look. Right. It's about the way you dress. It's about, it's very sexualized. See, I don't really want to knock other women because I'm a woman, and I think it's good to be sexy if you want to be, but to be forced, nearly everyone, every video you see, I'll tell a lie, there's a few artists, for instance, India Ari, Adele, even though when she first came out she was quite ordinary, and then they were trying to slim her down, make her pout. Obviously she's selling records, So she's got to look presentable, and but her voice is good, her songs are good.
Yeah, I mean, one that comes to mind is Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson. Right? That's another one who went through a very radical image change, and she's got a lot of talent, but you can see that talent is not enough to carry you through this industry. So that's something for the girls to think about. Many times you kind of see this artist on your screen and you really look up to her, but she's not that way naturally. It's a manipulated image, and you have to bear that in mind. And not only are they manipulating her, but they're manipulating you as well. So you're kind of, following an image that is not natural.
I need to say something. Can I mention Nina Simone?
Please do.
See, I love Nina Simone. I know she's quite controversial, but she went against the industry. She dressed how she wanted to dress. She did her hair. She didn't at the beginning, she had to straighten her hair. In her photographs, she's very light-skinned. And then later on, she cut her hair very short. Yeah. She wore lovely costumes and headdresses, and she was accepted. But she is one of very few. Most people, for them to have a long career, longevity, you have to conform. You have to.
Yeah, and that's something, I mean, we were discussing as well. How can we empower women to stand up? What is it, that kind of helped Nina Simone to succeed where others are not?
Well, in the industry, it's a male-dominated industry, and it is. I think we need more women. See, like this show?
Thank you.
But we need more women to be in power, in the head of companies. A lot of the record industry is male-dominated. The TV networks, the news, everything that portrays people, visually is a male-dominated. We need more women. We need more women to get together and form production companies, music, film, magazines even.
Yeah.
I mean, to be quite honest, I've never been on a show where there's been all women. There's always had a man somewhere on the show. Yeah. And so this is like a breath of fresh air, really. And we all look different.
Yeah. That's something definitely about our show is we try to empower women to be themselves and not conform to what society says a woman should be or the media says a woman should be. And so thank you for noticing.
I just wanted to ask you, Linda, because like you said, even on the news, you've got the male newscaster and the female. It's quite different. What exactly would you like to see in terms of the media? How would you want them to portray women, in your ideal mindset? I
personally feel if you want people to take you seriously, you want to be respected in business, you can't come with your chest and bottom hanging out, You can dress a certain way if you're a performer, on stage, but there has to be... We had Mary Whitehouse. Do you remember? I don't know if any of you heard of her. She used to watch programmes and decide, no, this is not right and this is, a watershed time. Yes. Another thing, when you watch the news, Trevor McDonald was there for how many years? But Angela Rippon, what's the other woman? Oh, God. I'm trying to think of all the names. When women get to a certain age, a younger one comes along.
Yes. Yeah.
And we accept it. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why do we accept it? Yeah.
Go on. That's food for thought, because that's what we were discussing on the show. Normally, we get faced with hopelessness and it tends to paralyze us. So we forget the power that we have to not accept things. We kind of look at it and inside of us we cringe, but we don't do anything about it because we find ourselves hopeless before a situation. But I think that's not going to change. If we continue having that mentality of hopelessness, it's not going to change. So we need to kind of start thinking, how can we actively get involved to change this? And how can we not accept? For example, you were saying young girls who dance to these lyrics that are degrading. That's where you start. You stop buying those records and things like that. So we need to recognize the power we have.
But then the videos, there's a particular singer whose father is a famous country and western singer. Her name is, I can't say. She was swinging on a ball in a video. I think she was actually naked.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I know who you're talking about. We all know who you're talking about. We will not mention her, but we have...
That was beyond sexy. She was naked, and my mum was... We were watching telly, and we were sitting there, and I thought, let's see what mum... She said, that girl's naked.
Yeah.
She said, is that music now?
Yeah.
I said, Mum, that's what sells.
Yeah.
And so I said, if that was how it was when I started music, I wouldn't have been a musician. I would have been anything else but
a musician.
I couldn't have done it. No way.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we've run out of time for our section. And the conversation is really flowing so well. Yeah. Thank you, Linda. Your insight has really helped us, and your contribution to the show has been phenomenal. Thank you so much for becoming part of our show.
I wanted to mention female producers.
Go on.
Well, I've written a few names down. I know it's cheating, but Sylvia Robinson is they call her the mother of hip hop, and she actually produced for. Do you remember a track by Grandmaster Flash called and the Furious Five called "The Message"? And Rapper's Delight. I don't know if any of you lot remember those.
No.
And Melly Mel. There's quite a few. Linda Parry, who did Gwen Stefani, Courtney Love, Britney Spears. There's quite a few female producers. Missy Elliott. But it's not as commonplace. Everyone knows Pharrell. They know all the women, and we accept it. We think, oh well, we've got something there. Our name's there somewhere. We need to start saying, no, we want our name here. We want to see more directors, producers. People,
decision makers.
Yes.
And we women need to support other women. So get behind those producers, buy their records.
And one other thing, women can look nice and do a good job. I mean, and another thing in the industry, if you're a strong woman, they call you the B word. And men are assertive.
Women are aggressive.
Right. You know what? When we come back, we're going to go for a break and we're going to continue this discussion because I have a lot to say on this discussion. But before we continue with that discussion, let's go for a break.